And we'll move over to our last panel speaker in the person of Mr. Ali Jookhun from Mauritius. My question to you, Mr. Ali, I can see your video is on right now. Because of time, we're trying to wrap up things quickly. Do you believe that developing training materials for health professionals and actually training health professionals on how to respond to persons with disability during the COVID crisis will help us adopt an inclusive, human-centered health culture for all? If so, could you just share more light about this? How do you think that this training for health professionals will provide us a way to adopt a human-centered health culture for everybody? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your question. Greetings, everyone, and thank you for your excellent presentation. I would like to also add during your presentation, I am also a parent of two late twins daughters born with multiple disabilities before I start. Well, first of all, we should know that disability is not strictly a health problem. As stated in the Article 25 of the CRPD, people with disability have the right to the same standard of accessible health care as those without disability. So, coming to your question, we should first make aware that we have three main instruments which can be very useful to us. Mainly, we are talking about persons with Down syndrome, which is very, very important. We have one international instrument, one regional instrument, and one the UN strategic goals. First, we have the UN CRPD, the Convention of the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. The convention entered into force on the 3rd of May 2008, and we have 50 articles, including Article 25, which concern about the health. And secondly, we have the regional legally binding instrument, which the African Union Protocol to the African Charter on Human and People's Rights on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities in Africa. And we have also Article 17, which speak to the right of health. And we must not forget also, we have the Sustainable Development Goal, also known as the Global Goal, which mention also good health and well-being on our goal 3. And the Sustainable Development Goal is very important goal with principle leaving no one behind, and the agenda emphasizes a holistic approach achieving sustainable development. So we have all these instruments to carry on what should be done for persons with disabilities, mainly as we are from Down syndrome, for persons with Down syndrome during this COVID-19 situation. So we all know that during this COVID situation, schools are closed, support services have been stopped, and there's also an uncertainty about what will happen to the personal care services when required, what will happen with the rehabilitation. Now parents have to take all the roles that other people usually play, such as teacher, occupational therapists, physiotherapists, carer, and others. So we have to think differently we have to come up with what you said in your question. We have to think to set up new guidelines for the medical, paramedical practitioners during this COVID-19 due to the devastating results of this pandemic. To offer services to persons with Down syndrome, persons with other disabilities, the health personnel must be trained to serve the needs of persons infected with COVID and providing information in accessible form, as other before me has said about this. But what has been done before? We have Article 33 of the UN Convention, which we have the national implementation and the monitoring. Has the monitoring been done properly, and has the implementation been done properly? That's mean to what extent the UNCRPD has been domesticated. So if all the things were done properly before, the situation which have not been as it is now. Concerning research also, we have very, very little research which has been done, carried out for the problem of disability, mainly in Africa. There is a need for research on such topic, and we have to be quick because of malnutrition, intellectual disability, intellectual development, and others. So we have to set up, we have to come up with new mechanism to see how we can come, I won't say help, but to come to look after people with disability, mainly people with intellectual disability. First of all, we should know that there is the question of symptom. So we have to set up new mechanism to ensure priority testing for people with Down syndrome, because they are not able, many of them are not able to express any symptom. So we don't have to wait long, as my first, the colleague before me was talking about the long waiting list. So we have to do it the earliest possible. So we have also to have a compulsory online, compulsory hotline for parents with children with Down syndrome, so that they can look for help or any type of help they are needing for. We have to empower the parents, and also all about what I'm referring to the question about all stakeholders, all the professionals working with people with Down syndrome. So during this pandemic, we have a very, very, very issue which called the flexibility time. So we have to find flexible time for parents and for children with Down syndrome. But there is one thing which we have a big problem about the lack of knowledge about Down syndrome. Members of the civil service, members of the police force must be trained to serve the needs of persons with Down syndrome, infected or not infected. Maybe I will I will make a reference to a very sad event which happened in South Africa, the case of Loki, the young of Natal Julius of South Africa. Because of ignorance and misunderstanding, lack of knowledge, the 16-year-old gentleman was shot dead, which should not be forgotten. So we had a very, very long and intensive awareness campaign, an ongoing awareness campaign, and to educate to all the professionals working in the service for the knowledge to know about persons with Down syndrome. This will help all of us. The society will be help to people to know what is persons of Down syndrome because they have intellectual disabilities. I am sticking to Down syndrome because it's the World Down Syndrome Day. So today we are happy that we have been able to connect because we have assistive devices. We have connected us. We have the networking which is connecting us. But I have a special thought for those people living in village where there is no internet connection, or is no connection, where there is always not the basic prevention measures such as wearing a mask, using sanitizers, or physical distancing. In some country, we celebrate yesterday the World Water Day. In some countries in our continent are not even connected to water. And this may cause, a big hygiene and sanitation issues. To end, I think that we have to join hands together. Together we can go a long way. And this Zoom we had started today must be an ongoing. We must stay connected and we must stay hands in hands for the best interest of our disabled community and to the people of Down syndrome. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Ali. That was very great. I mean, I cannot overemphasize what you just said. Cooperation, staying together, doing things collectively to ensure that persons with Down syndrome are able to break barriers and assess the right health opportunities for them to thrive in this post-COVID world. Thank you so much. That was really enlightening. So I'll just go over to the question and answer in the Q&A box. We have a question from Moni Petit. She's asking Penny Robertson, how can DSI help countries like Tanzania educational authorities to understand the importance of inclusive education at all levels? And she also asks, we are not able to do the Aradi project in Tanzania. This is directed to Mr. Dube. Because of the need to translate in Swahili. Which of you remember while in South Africa in February 2019, you promised to provide a translation from your organization? Kindly let us know how we can get a translated version. And Moni Petit asks for the third time, the Pearl of People with Down Syndrome Foundation has a Swahili manuscript of a small booklet to new mothers on My Special Baby. Please, can we formally write to you to request for publishing of the manuscript? Much needed money. So we don't know if this third question is directed to Mr. Dube or to Penny, but I'm pretty sure the first question in the Q&A, if Penny is available, please feel free to answer, and please make it very concise because of time. I think short and succinct will be very good at this